Hey, paisanos.
All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Three Bros One Switch. I'm really happy today because we actually have news to talk about.
You already said that the episode's amazing, but yet we are like 5 seconds in, and you're like, "This is an amazing episode already."
It will
Did I
be
say
an
it was an amazing
episode.
episode?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It is going to be an amazing episode, and I'm going to prove it at the very end. There's going to be payoff. Trust me.
Dom has future vision.
Yes, I do.
This will also be our most controversial episode.
All right, let's just jump right into this, guys. Super Mario Bros. Is celebrating its 35th anniversary, as we knew. Like, the hype was leading up to something big. We always knew it was something big, and then I wake up, what was it, last Wednesday? Yeah, last Wednesday.
It was like Thursday.
I wake
Thursday
up.
or Friday.
It was actually I don't know.
One
I
of the
woke
days.
up last week. I woke up last week. I looked at my phone and I see Super Mario Bros. 35th Direct, and I'm like, holy crap! And I check our group chat to see if anyone's going on about it, and I don't really see anything happening.
Well, you saw me going like, "Hey guys, there's a Direct," but it took you guys waking up a little bit to find it.
Well,
Yeah,
I was like,
here's the thing. I woke up right when Jacob said "boom" in the chat, and I was like, okay, it's probably just a meme or something. And I saw 35th anniversary Direct. I'm like, hold up. And then I was getting my breakfast, and then Dom's like, I really like this 3D World remaster. I'm like, stop!
Because I said something and there was not a response for a while, and I was like, "Are they awake? Are you guys dead? What has happened?"
But you know my sleep schedule sucks. So there are days where I sleep in a lot, and then there are days where I'm literally up at the crack of dawn. It's weird. I don't like it.
I was only up for class, to be honest.
Yeah, there's days when I have to get up at 8 a.m. for Zoom calls and but usually after that I just let my alarm or just whenever go off, and usually I get up around 9:30, 10.
Yeah, but so this Direct had a lot of amazing reveals, starting off really nice with
Game & Watch was first.
Game & Watch was first. That's sticking with the theme of bringing back old Nintendo classic consoles like the NES Classic, the SNES Classic. Now we have the Game Boy Classic.
Also in
The Game &
relation
Watch,
to the NES Classic, good luck finding this.
Too soon. But I'm really happy that Nintendo's going through with this direction. I think Nintendo's giving us a lot with this Game Boy remaster or re-release.
Game & Watch.
Game & Watch.
Game & Watch. Did I say Game Boy?
Yeah.
Forgive me. Please
They
forgive
might do
me.
a Game Boy Classic soon. You never know.
You never know. I'm waiting for that N64 Classic, though.
Judging on the price for the remasters, it'll only be whatever, $1,200 for the N64 and some good games, right?
While you wait for your N64 Classic, I'll go ahead and wait for N64 Online to happen, but
that makes more sense. But I just hear buzz throughout the community that people want this just to simply resell it at a higher value or just for collectible for collector's reason.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at you over there. And I'm not
Mr. Collector.
Mr. Collector.
It really reminded me of the Club Nintendo Game & Watch thing that you could get for a certain amount of points. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
Mm-mm.
But it was for Club Nintendo, the ultimate reward they always had for 1,200 points maybe. Maybe that point total is wrong. But you could get a reproduction of a Game & Watch system, like an original one. So, kind of similar.
Yeah, but no appeal to me whatsoever. It's great though. It's nostalgic. It's classic. I love the vibe. But other than that, that's where I stand on it. Tyler, where do you stand on Game & Watch?
Well, guys, there are no other ways to play the original Super Mario Bros. So we should probably be buying that.
We should really thank Nintendo for this, shouldn't we?
That's it's funny because that's the first thing you see in the Direct, and it's a new way to play the original Super Mario Brothers, and I'm just
no thanks.
Okay, that goes along with the other 56 ways that you can now play Super Mario Brothers just on the Switch.
As a final note for the Game & Watch thing, I do think it's cool that it's not just, unlike some things, just a direct port. It's something that they clearly put effort into making unique for the clock, the little Easter eggs or whatever. So I think that and adding the lost levels shows that they put a degree of effort into it, and I could appreciate that.
That's very understandable.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's not just porting games; it's just copying and pasting.
Ouch! Is that a jab at Nintendo over there, Tyler?
I mean, I don't think we're there yet, but
I don't think we are either. Let's just talk about Super Mario Bros. 35. Considering I tried to transition into that, I'm actually who's gonna play Super Mario Bros. 35? Anyone?
It's free. I mean, can't beat free.
I'll play it a couple times, and yeah.
For those of you who are living under a rock and did not watch the Super Mario 35 Direct, Super Mario Bros. 35 is essentially Super Mario Bros. Battle Royale. It's like Fortnite meets Mario Bros. Where you play the classic Mario Bros. Games, but there's a fun little twist. 35 players, they play simultaneously, and every time you beat an enemy, you actually send it over to another player's screen, and you basically make it more difficult and overwhelming for them. And the goal is to either be the last Mario standing.
I don't know the exact mechanics, but it's very, very similar to the game Tetris 99, which is also free with Switch Online, and that's because it's the same developer, and it's kind of the same concept. You have like a bunch of little screens where you can see what's going on, and you can basically sabotage the other players. Have you guys played Tetris 99 at all?
No, because I suck.
Oh, I think it's really fun. I really actually love Tetris 99, and I'll come back to it every once in
I
a while.
like Tetris 99. I just think that the screen is kind of an eyesore sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, they have custom themes that are kind of pretty enjoyable.
So if it's by the same developer, I wonder what other games they can do this same treatment to. Maybe Super Mario Sunshine 99.
How would that even work, Tyler?
Pepsi Man 99.
How would that even
Shaq
work, Tyler?
Fu
Gex
99.
99.
Okay, you got me. You sold me.
Michael Jackson's Moonwalker 99.
E.T. for Atari. 99.
Okay, now you're reaching. My only gripe with this is the fact that we have a limited time to play it. I would have preferred if Nintendo would have just continued with like New Super Mario Bros. 2 35, New Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. 3 35. You know, just like I feel like they could have done a lot with themes and.
This may be a dumb question, but is it that the game itself is shut down on the 31st of March, or is it that you can't download it after that, and just if you have it downloaded, you can still play it?
Well, I don't think it's on isn't it on NES Online?
No, it's something you can only download if you have it. But like Tetris 99, you install separately. Like it's a thing that you have installed. So if you install Mario 35, you'll at least have that application installed on the Switch.
Well, what you're basically going to see throughout these announcements is that some of them have a lot of limitations on them. And March 2021 seems to be a hot date for something. Yeah. I don't know why everything's just being limited to March 2021. Maybe they have something cooking.
Well,
Mario Odyssey 2 reveal.
No,
because it just doesn't make any sense. Why is everything just being limited to March 2021?
It might sound cynical to say, but there really is not that much of a legitimate reason. The reason is that Nintendo wants people to buy and play this stuff, and they want them to do it as soon as possible. And putting a timer counting down on that is the most surefire way to do it.
I agree, but like, I don't even see the need for a timer if it's just going to be free. If it was money, if you had to pay money to get this, then yeah, I would say that the timer is, it makes sense. It's practical, but like I believe that a timer for a free game is very impractical.
Well, maybe it's because it's free that they're not giving it away just to anyone and everyone for an infinite amount of time.
I get where they're coming from, because I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of people who play Tetris 99, so maybe that's just Nintendo's message of being like...
No, Tetris 99 is extremely popular.
Still?
Yeah, they even did a physical release of it.
I was going to say that maybe because like maybe not a lot of people play it anymore, maybe Nintendo's going to be like, you know what? Play it while it's out, so that way they can like maintain an audience for the game and have numbers come in.
I mean, like Tetris 99 to this day, they still do new cups with new themes, and I see actually a lot of buzz about it online. So the only reason that I can see for them doing this is just to get people, get people to play it, and maybe they're like, it's free, so take it or leave it.
I'm sure they're going to chop off that March thing, because they're just like, think of like any game out there, and then they're just like, you know what? You have till 5 months from now to play this game, and after that, you'll never play it ever again. Like, that's just kind of dumb.
Well, that's the main question to me is, will you be able to play it if you have it downloaded past that date?
I bet you, like, if you'll probably launch it after the date has passed, and then it's going to be like, sorry, the trial run or whatever has ended. Thank you for playing. You can just delete the software now.
Here's my theory. What if the 3D All-Stars collection, that's not Nintendo's main project for Mario 35. I wonder if they have something else.
It's Odyssey 2. It has to be Odyssey 2.
Well, even then, I wonder if they have something kind of, hidden in the back, maybe another mainline game, and then Mario 35 will then be included as a bonus game in said game.
I feel like a giant killjoy saying this, but the direct that they just released, a lot of sources that are reliable in the leaking community say that it was actually going to be in April of this year, or much earlier this year, and it was just postponed because of COVID things. So I think that this is pretty much the all-encompassing Mario 35 thing. And by the time that it's next year, it won't even be the 35th anniversary anymore. So as much as we want to say that there's a good reason for the dates, I think it's just another bizarre Nintendo thing and a series of bizarre Nintendo decisions.
Well, I think it's coincidental that we're celebrating the 35th anniversary of Mario, and it's ending in March. Mario.
Well, I think that they're doing that because they're like, okay, well, it's been a year since the anniversary, so time's up.
I don't know. It's just like it's something that they've both done before and they haven't done before, because obviously the SNES and NES Classic low stock, and that's a Nintendo thing to do, is make things low stock. But for a digital game, making it only available till March, and the 3D All-Stars is only available till March, both ways.
The way I see it, like, did you guys with the 3DS, did you ever, I know you're not really into Zelda, but did you ever see how they, like, on certain days would supply free Zelda Four Swords Adventures or whatever on the 3DS? It's like a free game they'd do. I think that must just be the way that they're looking at Mario 35 or whatever the official name is. It's just like, it's free software that we're providing for you, but we're not giving it away forever. So I don't think it's a good decision. I don't think it makes sense, especially when something free like Tetris 99 has gotten so much support. But I mean, maybe if it's successful, they'll change their minds. That's pretty much all we can hope right now.
Like, I get the clothing line, like, stuff and, all that extra goodies that they've shown in the Direct. I get why that can be limited. But I don't know, the games themselves being limited is just a little bit of a strange concept for me.
Yeah, it's artificial scarcity, at least for the physical edition of 3D All-Stars. So hopefully, if it's, like I said, if it's a success, they'll reconsider. But again, a lot of times Nintendo's decisions just boggle the mind, but at least we get some good games out of them for a period of time right now.
I agree. Hey, can I get something off my chest about a different topic revealed in this Direct? Because I want to, like, save, like, the really good stuff for the end and, like, just get out the really...
I mean, I think we covered Mario 35 in a basic gist, and so...
Okay, so can I trash Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, please?
What, Dom? Do you not want to drive around in your porn studio? Whoa, new Mario Kart racetrack.
I mean, come on. If they had unveiled Mario Kart 9, that would have been the biggest left turn ever, because there's no way they finished that by now.
And honestly, I thought they were going that way, considering how, like, the header for this reveal and announcement was a question mark. So I'm like, it's something new. It's a brand new game. And I saw a kid on a Switch. I'm like, Mario Kart 9, let's go. And it's Mario Kart racing on his...
I definitely saw where you got from. I thought at first it was just going to be more Mario Kart 8 DLC that... And another
that would blew my mind even more.
And another Mario... I thought it would just be another Mario Kart 8 mode. It's like, look at these figures. It's fucking Skylanders.
Yeah, no, actually, I know that you guys are trashing it. Mainly, the main reason that it kind of sucks is because of the reveal method that they chose. Maybe if it was right out the gate, it's this toy, it wouldn't have been that bad. But I actually think the idea itself is fairly neat. For kids, at least.
Yeah, I'm not trashing it. I just think it's again, this whole Direct is kind of plagued with some strange marketing decisions. Because... this thing is supposed to be really expensive, right?
It's $100 for... Well, did we even explain to the listeners what this is?
Okay, so Mario Kart Live Home Circuit is essentially... It is AR, it's augmented reality. You download the software on your Switch, and you have these, like, cardboard cutouts that you build. It's almost like Nintendo Labo, and you set them up around your house, around furniture. You create your own circuit, launch the software, and essentially you get to play Mario Kart on your living room floor.
Well, the biggest part is that there's a physical Mario Kart with a camera on it that connects to the app.
Oh, yeah, see, I forget that part because I kind of have no need for it and no want for it, and I'm just trashing it at this point, so I'm not really taking into consideration the most important details of this announcement.
But the thing is, hopefully, if it doesn't do well, we'll be able to get on clearance in a while. It's a cool idea. It's cool Nintendo merch, but $100 for one Mario Kart and some cardboard track just is not exactly up my alley, even as a pretty big Mario Kart fan.
Even then, I think this is definitely, as you saw in the video, this is aimed toward a much more younger audience than us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
So I get why, because today you and I can look at this and we can be like, this is dumb because I won't have to clean all that shit up. I can just launch Mario Kart 8 and I can just play in these awesome worlds that are more imaginative than my living room.
Exactly. Like, I want to race on Mushroom Gorge, DK Summit, 3DS Rainbow Road, not Jacob's basement.
It's kind of funny too, because I collect some Lego stuff, and a lot of times adult collectors will complain about Lego stuff aimed towards kids, but it's like, I guess really we just are not the target demographic for this thing.
I think that's the thing that most people are missing about this. If you look at the video, who are the ones that are playing with these things?
Kids.
And what is Labo targeted towards in the first place?
Kids.
What are you building this out of? Cardboard.
And I mean, hey,
I was about to answer kids.
Yes, the kids. I'm having the kids make the course for me.
and it's not like they don't do, you know, collector's items for adults too, because like the whole like Lego NES thing that they released, that's totally aimed at like an older audience. But a lot of times, just the main focus is on kids because, you know, they're a video game company and they know that it'll sell well.
So my overarching opinion about Mario Kart Live Home Circuit: don't want it, not going to buy it, even on clearance. It will stay on that clearance shelf. I will not pity it. I will not give it any remorse whatsoever. Nintendo will not get my money in any regard towards that abomination that they revealed.
So Dom,
Wow,
are you not going to buy the Rosalina cart?
You are impassioned.
Well, listen, they never revealed the Rosalina card tower.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Okay, did you guys see that there's only like 4 playable characters in this thing, and it's the weirdest combination of characters?
Yeah, like, is it
Mario?
Ludwig?
It's Mario, Bowser Jr., Ludwig, and Wendy.
No, there were other ones driving around in the trailer too, I think.
I think there was Luigi too.
Does the actual character you're playing as depend on what the physical toy is, or can you just switch it up and the toy is just kind of like an avatar for what you're
I'm
doing?
sure the toy is the Skylanders Disney Infinity.
Yeah, it probably comes with the AR software.
But I'm saying they had Koopalings in the trailer, but they didn't show any physical Koopaling carts. So maybe even if it's a Mario Kart that the physical thing is, on your screen it could look like whatever character you want to choose.
And also notice like the carts themselves were really unique. Like one of them was the Koopa Clown. I mean, I'm not denying that there's any possibility that Nintendo might actually release that RC car, but like if they do, it would just be really like out of left field.
Tom, I have a feeling when this whole thing actually launches and they announce like how we're gonna throw out these, they come in on separate packages, and you'll be like, you know what, I'm actually gonna buy the Bowser Jr. one.
Okay, listen, can I tell you the only stipulation in which I would actually buy this is if I found out that in this AR software you could actually turn your home and you can augment it into an actual like Nintendo-esque world. Like if all of a sudden I can turn like my home living room into Dry Desert.
Wait, but wouldn't you just want to play an actual Dry Desert then? I don't get what you mean.
Okay, yes, I would like to play an actual Dry Desert, but I'm saying like there's nothing appealing about my living room, okay? There's everything appealing about all the Mario Kart tracks.
Here's a concept that I think would make this thing a whole lot more interesting.
Please.
You can upload your courses.
Yeah, but then there are all the porn courses that are uploaded literally within 5
exactly,
seconds.
But
so, like,
I mean,
here's a course of my dick. That's what literally
if
everyone
you
would
think
do.
about it, it wouldn't be that bad of an idea, but I feel like people would run out of ideas and just
people would abuse
wow,
it.
I can't wait to go drive into this random person's living room. Oh, look at that married couple's photo in the background.
People would abuse
what
it.
What are they
to
doing,
hell.
Tyler?
People would immediately it would be dicks. Immediately it would be just
watch out for the body pillow.
The thing that, I don't know, to me, driving around your house is kind of cool. But, like, I played this one Hot Wheels game growing up where you were, like, on a Hot Wheels track in your backyard, like, driving around. And
I know exactly what game you're talking
about.
It
brings back a certain nostalgia. So I think driving around your house is a cool idea. It's just expensive, and it's a cool-ass toy, but I'm not spending money on it.
If you're going to do that in Mario Kart 8. I don't want to buy a whole $100 package just to...
Well, I mean, there's no camera in 8, so that's the main crux of the problem, is that you need the cart that has the camera, because that's what builds the whole thing.
I can definitely see why a kid would love this a lot more than I do.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
I don't want to clean it up. I don't want to buy it. Parents do all the rest of that stuff.
I mean, when you look at it, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is much cheaper than it for much more content. It's a novelty item. It's a toy. It's cool, but there's not much else to it.
Regardless, Nintendo could have fixed this whole thing and just slapped a big old 9 next to Mario Kart. Give us a teaser trailer, called it a day. I would have been much happier.
I think if they had done that, and if they had taken all 3 games in the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, completely remastered them, added new levels and content, and then also made Super Mario 3D World 2, that probably would have been a reasonable direct for them to have done.
Yes.
But we have to settle with being showered with all this Mario stuff instead.
But I'm not going to say that Mario Kart
I'm being
Live...
sarcastic if you can't tell, listeners.
I'm not saying that Mario Kart Live Home World Tour is the... I don't know what it's called, but I don't think like it's not the old like the bad thing about the Mario Kart in this direct. I mean, we have Tour.
I was about to say, if that was a transition, that was a pretty good transition. I've actually been impressed so far with this Super Mario Kart Tour. That actually just launched today, in fact.
They have like SNES sound effects too. When you pick Mario, it's like some sort of NES sound, and then when you start the course, it plays the Super Mario Kart.
Oh, that is
startup theme.
Oh, I love that.
The I did it very poorly, but I haven't played Tour in a while, but that kind of tempted me to go back. That looks, the way that they implemented Donkey Kong Jr. looks really cool.
I know, and I was waiting for it because I'm like, I was expecting Nintendo to actually just give us an HD full render of Donkey Kong Jr. and Mario Kart Tour, but like the direction that they're going with here, I actually think is much better and more appealing.
Yeah, it's much more distinct.
People are pointing out that in the character select for Mario Kart Tour, that Donkey Kong Jr., it says Donkey Kong Jr. NES version. Or just NES. SNES.
Oh, so you're saying there might be a possibility down the road we might actually get
possibility because it says like in parentheses SNES.
Okay.
So people are thinking like maybe there might be an actual Donkey Kong Jr. in the future.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Save that for another Donkey Kong anniversary.
When was the last time we saw him? Like a Mario Tennis game?
Mario Tennis on the N64.
If they added I think that they should add K. Rool as well. I think that would be an amazing pick to add. But
what, just because he appeared in Sluggers?
I mean, yeah, he's kind of a Mario character, and everyone loves him, so why not?
I do also like that little slight, it's the finite details that really appeal to me. Like the courses, like remixing SNES Rainbow Road. I love the new remix of Rainbow Road. I love the fact that they're doing this now with like the old SNES tracks. They're adding remixed versions of them, where they basically add more hang gliding elements, more jumps, more twists and turns. They switch out the track layout. They add new things. They add more gimmicks. It's really cool, actually.
So it's not just a boring SNES course, which I think we can all admit the SNES courses in Mario Kart are a little dated.
Dom is Mr. Battle Course 1 over here, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I will defend the SNES tracks, especially like Donut Plains and Vanilla Lake look absolutely spectacular in Tour. And like the music, the old-timey nostalgia music is great, but in terms of layout, they do not offer a lot.
Because they're supposed to look like go-kart courses,
exactly,
if you think about it.
Uh-huh. And I think they've made them honestly look the most interesting they could have. Like, it's not for lack of effort. They've really kind of tried to spice things up just with the overall detail, especially even when they put them in like Mario Kart 8. They obviously add a lot of appeal to them, but they are still just kind of blocky, dated courses to an extent. It doesn't make them not fun to play.
Right.
So another game where they're doing a little feature for the 35th anniversary is Splatoon 2, surprisingly enough.
I'm really happy to see that Splatoon 2 is still getting love.
So they unveiled Splatfest Mushroom versus Star. And and as well as a bunch of merch. I just think it's funny that this is like the millionth final Splatfest they've done. Well, I mean, the first final Splatfest was obviously the
Apocalypse, or it was like Future versus Past or something?
Well, no, it wasn't Future versus Past. It was like, Chaos versus Order.
Oh,
Chaos versus Order. Yes, that was the final one.
And I was really mad to see that Chaos one because now it makes me not look forward to Splatoon 3 because it's basically going to be a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
It's going to be Mad Max Splatoon. I mean, that sounds a little cool, right?
I would prefer a post-apocalyptic dystopian futuristic society Splatoon.
I kind of prefer that too. But you know what? I mean, I'm sure.
What did you choose for that Splatfest?
Most of the Splatfest I honestly went with Marina, but I also chose the
because screw Pearl.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, they after that final Splatfest, they're like, oh, actually, we're just gonna do reruns, and they're like, and now we have a new theme, and I mean, I think it's a good idea. Why not? Absolutely. It's fun.
So, Mushroom or Star?
I chose Star because I like the black tea with the yellow star, and I also like Marina, and I like the Superstar.
I agree. I also choose Star. Wait, can you choose your side already?
No, I chose by buying that actual Splatfest shirt off the Nintendo website.
Oh, you bought it already? I need to do that.
Yeah, so they did reveal too, which is pretty cool, is that there's physical replicas of the Splatoon shirts, Splatfest shirts that you can wear, and they have all the little tags and everything from the game.
And don't forget the keychains.
I was gonna say also the keychains are coming out. I think at some point next year. Am I right?
Yes, right around when the Splatfest releases.
Yeah, those look pretty cool.
I know Tyler over here is not much of a Splatoon enthusiast, but I will beg the question: Mushroom or Superstar?
Superstar.
Good.
Because I love those T-shirt designs. I know I'm not that much of a Splatoon player, but I know. I kind of like the design of those shirts.
Yeah, it feels like they went all out for the merch for the Splatfest shirts. So I mean, I'm really excited for that to arrive, and I'm really excited to get back into Splatoon 2 come March 2021.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of these little events that celebrating Mario's 35th anniversary, I'm excited, even though it's a little bit of a ways away. The furniture that's being added to Animal Crossing New Horizons, I will absolutely be waiting for that with open arms.
Yeah, it just reminded me when you were talking about Splatoon, because I kind of forgot they announced that, because it's like months and months in the future.
Yeah.
I think I had said on one of our previous episodes, they typically have like a ton of Nintendo stuff in it, and they haven't for this game. Well, they're doing something next year, and next year is Zelda's 35th anniversary too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have some stuff in the pipeline for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Real quick, what kind of furniture do you think they're going to add? I would be really excited if they added back like an NES, like they did in the original Animal Crossing. If they just had an NES, you could put like with the Switch and stuff.
I almost want to beg the question, would you be able to play those games? But like, I mean, we have NES Online, so it would kind of
they could have it be almost like a shortcut to NES Online. Like if you have NES Online, you can get the item in Animal Crossing that allows you to play the NES game. I'm just saying maybe it would be a feature that could be unlocked in the game if you already had like online. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool
heck,
idea.
the original Animal Crossing utilized this aspect in having an NES where you can actually play the games.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, maybe even if you can't play a game on the Switch in Animal Crossing. I would just like an NES almost as a little homage to that original Animal Crossing NES stuff. But that's not even specific to Mario. Like, what kind of Mario things do you think they're going to put
I
on?
would love to see a Toad stool.
All right, get out. I know it's your house. Get out.
No, actually, I'm being dead serious. Like a Toad pattern stool, I think it just makes perfect sense.
Can I have a CDI?
I think
No.
they've got to add piranha plant something, right?
Like an actual piranha plant. If they added a piranha plant.
Living piranha plant.
I would buy. I would waste all my bells on that.
Why do you say waste? It could not be a waste. Piranha
It's a valuable purchase.
The Church of Piranha Plant is
Literally,
a legitimate cult.
I would make it a cathedral, and just you would walk down the halls, and you would just see the piranha plants all lined up one by one.
We could like
of the different varieties.
That's the only way you want to get married, huh, Tyler?
Like
have your dad walk you down the aisle with piranha plants at either side.
The book, like in Mario Odyssey.
The bouquet, yeah, that's right.
I'm trying to think. Like the more specific, the better. Sometimes, like if they had specific items from like 64, Sunshine, stuff like that, I think it'd be cool. I don't necessarily know what, but the more detailed the references are, the more
I could see them adding the wing cap from
Oh,
Mario
yeah,
64.
like that item to wear. That
Flood.
would be...
And
As
then
a backpack,
Mario
yeah.
Galaxy, maybe like a launch star in your house or something.
Yeah, no, whatever they do, my bells are being funneled directly to that the moment it comes out.
Oh, absolutely. I was also thinking about an interesting aspect. What if like Nintendo utilized, including Mario, fish? Like, what if you could catch a cheap?
That would be sweet. I would hope that they could do something like that. But have they added any fish to the?
I mean, they've added plenty of fish, but they're actual fish.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, the fish are already all in the game. Like the Critterpedia is something that currently exists,
Yes.
and it's not like they add it on by month. It's just some things are available, some things aren't.
Correct.
The
Seasonability.
amazing thing is you can make like a Critterpedia of all the Mario enemies because they all have different names. Like this is like kind of unrelated, but like Jacob and I, we saw like this gold cheap thing.
It was like a little Nintendo toy, and it was a gold cheap, but it had
And
like
we were
this
like-
really weird name.
Yeah, I'm like, there's like so many freaking names for these
I
things.
gotta look it up
and
now because it was just really weird.
Like there's Goomba and then there's Galumba.
I love Sniffets.
Yeah, Sniffets.
Sniffets are so underrated.
Yeah.
Like imagine having your face is just a gun.
For his neutral special, his face is a gun.
Oh, it's called an Eep Cheap.
An Eep Cheap.
Eep cheap.
Eep Cheap.
Oh dear God, I didn't like how that was in unison.
Were there any other little games that they said that they're going to be updates for? I'm trying to think.
It's a good question.
They said that Mario Maker is going to have a specific course.
Yeah.
Who
What?
cares?
Who? What? When? Where? Why? How? Don't
I
care.
know. I wish I cared more about Mario Maker. It's a
I
great
wish I
game,
didn't buy the game.
but
I wouldn't call it great.
I think it's a great game. I just think that maybe the timing when they released it, I don't know. I didn't get into it.
Actually, I think that's about it in terms of like little events.
There is going to be some sort of Smash Bros. Event, they said.
Yeah, it's like a versus cup or whatever.
Wow, play Mario characters when you can already play Mario characters in the game.
Guys, wait. I just had a crazy idea, though. What if they're gonna add Mario into Smash?
That would come out of left field. No one would
Come on,
ever
that's-
even expect that.
That's a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little bit. Come on, Jacob.
It might
It's not
happen.
like they own it.
might
It's not like they own
happen.
Mario or
Yeah.
anything.
If they got the rights, it could happen.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
what?
I mean, I still have my shrine set up, and I pray to it every day. So maybe one day we might get Mario into Smash, but let's not get
Even
our hopes
then,
up.
before then, Shrek and Jerry Seinfeld will both get their spots. I mean, those are definite choices.
Absolutely.
In all seriousness, though, when you guys saw the length of the direct, did a little part of you think that there might be a Smash Bros. Reveal?
Absolutely. 4 minutes left. I'm like, I'm going to hear a wah. I'm going to see a tennis racket. I'm going to see an assist trophy. I'm going to see the tennis racket beat the assist trophy into submission. And then I'm just going to see the triumphant wah.
Waluigi was my immediate thought. Although, the final reveal was not a disappointment to me at all. It was
Absolutely
actually very, very exciting.
When I saw the header and, like, multiplayer really jumps into this game, and I saw Cat Mario, I'm like, oh, okay, so we're getting the 3D World port. That's great. I watched the trailer. In fact, I showed Rocky this too, and she's like, didn't they already release 3D World? And I'm like, yeah, it's on the Wii U, but this is like
Did
the
you
Switch
say,
port.
Rocky, it's Nintendo. They will port every single Wii U game and milk it for everything it's worth onto the Nintendo Switch.
And you know what? I'm still going to give them my money.
Portendo.
As long as they're good. I mean, like, the Wii U is a great... It had some great games. And it was
The
an
sad thing
interesting
is,
system, but-
if you look back on the Wii U now, everything from the Wii U was ported. Not even just on Switch, too. There's a ton of Wii U games, exclusive Wii U games that have been ported to PC.
Well, somebody compiled a list. I'd have to show you guys later. There are still some smaller and noteworthy games that are exclusive to the Wii U, but I'm all for bringing all that and putting it directly on the Switch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think the only big name like Nintendo game that hasn't been ported yet is Game & Mario.
Wait, what?
Game & Mario on Wii U.
Yeah, that probably won't. That's probably not going to see a
Yeah.
port.
Like,
Because
but
I
the-
completely
but, yeah.
forgot that thing.
WarioWare is a perfect fit for the Switch, though, so they should definitely do it eventually.
I'm sure
Maybe
they'll
they
be later.
Make a
and-
new Wario.
Yeah. It's just like that. If you think of like all the big Nintendo games are on there, you have Star Fox Zero, which will probably never get a port.
Mario Party 10.
Mario Party 10, Game & Wario.
Here, I'm gonna.
I
if
think
you want,
that's
I can
it.
pull up the list.
Yeah,
Somebody-
and then like you have the Wii U ports, like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
But that the ports of oh my god.
I
But what
really-
if they port the Wii U ports?
This is getting community levels of meta.
I really hope that they bring those Zelda games to the Switch next year, but I'm not. I'm expecting that they will. Maybe they won't.
I'm expecting probably like something. All right, hang on. That's not the topic at hand. So when I saw that plus slapped right next to the 3D World logo, I thought that it was just their new way of saying deluxe, which I was totally all for. But then the zoom in through the plus, and then you just see this dark, stormy landscape. You just see cat trees and probably like cat towers or like whatever scratchy posts. I bet you it's a play off of scratchy posts, those big tall spires. And then you see Mario sitting in front of this weird looking Bowser Bell statue, and then you see the awesome epic Bowser's Fury, and you're like, oh my god, it's not just a simple port.
You're really painting a whole tale here, Don.
I
This
really
is
am.
impressive.
I really, really, really hope this isn't just a hard mode or
No,
like
it
a
can't
challenge
be. It can't
mode.
be. Like, have you seen the landscape? Like,
Dom, you say it can't be. I love Nintendo to death, but
That is
there
such
is
a-
no it can't be with Nintendo.
Even then, that is such a Nintendo thing to do. Just be like hard mode.
But I do have to say, the vibe of this looked pretty different from anything that's already in the game, so it piqued my interest a little bit.
did anybody notice the open world landscape feel of this? Like how the Savannah World levels.
That's
like,
exactly
Yeah.
why it's not a world, because there's not going to be any open 3D world stuff. It's got to be, maybe that's like a hub for smaller levels or something.
I'm sure. Like maybe it's like a world literally called Fury. Maybe it's Fury World.
There better be new levels.
Even
That's
then,
all I'm saying.
they kind of, if you guys know the Mario and Luigi games, they've been remaking them recently, and they will add these second games to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the same thing what they're doing. So that's why I don't think it's going to be a hard mode, because why would you advertise a new port of a new, well, not a new game, a new port of a game, and then it's only in, like main selling point is a hard mode.
Again, when you say why, the answer 99% of the time is Nintendo. And they're at such a position in the gaming industry where they can just kind of yank us around this much, but they make such good games that it's pretty much worth it in the end.
Okay,
mostly.
I do have to beg this. If it was simply just a hard mode, don't you think Nintendo would have just ripped that Band-Aid off? And, well, actually, not only that, not only reveal that it's a hard mode, but why is the release date in February of next year if it's just simply
So they
a
can
hard
space
mode?
it out.
That is true.
Well, I think it's so they can space out releases, but...
No, I bet you it's game development. If you're going to be making new levels, you need time to develop said levels, especially with COVID, with people working from home. They need time to do this.
They did even show gameplay, too.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully there's, dare I say, a direct at some point this year for the rest of the year that maybe shows a clear path for their trajectory into 2021, but...
I think they're going to do another showcase video for Bowser's Fury a couple months in, and I guarantee you, well, I'm not going to guarantee you, but this is the way how I'm viewing it. We're going to get a gist of what the mode is, what you do. Mm-hmm. I think there'll be like one or two new playable characters.
Yeah.
And basically, that's what you're doing. And maybe they'll add like a few extra things to the main game.
And maybe the trailer will be dropped on Twitter at midnight at some random date in the next few months that nobody could have ever predicted.
But that's working for Nintendo right now. These random drops they're working in their favor. Absolutely.
They're anticipating.
Yeah.
Like they like literally before this, if you would just mention the word Nintendo on Twitter, the amount of times take a shot every time you see the word "Where's the Direct?"
The fans have gotten very abrasive. And, being excited for a Direct is not wrong. And obviously, we'd all discuss it and talk about it too. But there's a certain subset of people that have nothing better to do than go on and on Twitter about it. And that's probably the worst subset of the fan base.
And unfortunately, I feel like this is a good transition. The most toxic part of the fan base is highlighted in the biggest part of the Direct.
As you bring that up, it's very interesting because they've been announcing all these games in these little tidbits and kind of shadow dropping them, and they've been announcing them really close to release. For this release coming up, they announced it literally 2 weeks beforehand. So, Dom, do you want to introduce the biggest, most exciting part of the Direct?
Yes, and I believe, what was it? Oh, yeah, Mario Paint Remaster, right? Or was it Mario Learns to Type?
Actually, it's Mario. Mario is Missing 2.
Wait, I thought that was the trilogy. It's Mario Paint, Mario is Missing 2, and Mario Teaches Typing.
Yes, it's the Mario 3D crap collection.
They're all on 4x3. No widescreen. No widescreen for you.
Also, they're all in Japanese. They didn't translate them. I'm sorry, guys.
It's played on an emulator, ROMs that you can get online for free.
God bless those emulators. Am I right?
I think the question on all of our minds is, why did they keep Hotel Mario out of this collection?
That's a very good question because it's very it's an iconic part of the Mario series.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter because basically you're just buying an emulator for $60.
Got him.
If they had remastered all the the Hotel Mario cutscenes and done like I don't know. I mean I don't even really care about Odyssey 2 if we could have gotten a remaster of that.
So Nintendo, their big bombshell reveal at the end to capstone the Direct was the 3D Mario All-Stars, which brings back Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy all on one game for the Nintendo Switch. And I gotta say, it's still a buy, no matter what. Even if people are toxic, even if the fan base is toxic and they're like, oh, it's just a simple port, it's still a buy because it's 64, it's Sunshine, it's Galaxy. Who's not going to get those games?
Well,
Galaxy 2 fans.
Let me clarify something. I don't think that it's toxic at all to be critical of Nintendo. There's definitely a lot of stuff to be critical of. The limited release is a strange thing. The fact that they didn't add stuff at all is a little disappointing. But at the same time, it's still okay to be excited for this collection coming because it's 3 iconic games that I am personally super excited to replay for what I think is a fair price on the Switch.
Well, yeah, of course there's no problem with being critical about... I mean, I'm getting it anyways because these are 3 essential childhood games for me that all kind of have like their certain periods.
Yep.
But this collection is absolutely nowhere near perfect.
No.
It's nowhere near a dream come true. In fact, I find it more expected than... Because that's why I wasn't like, oh my god, when I saw Mario Sunshine revealed, because you're basically buying an emulator.
The reason that it's expected is because it was leaked months beforehand and everyone just expected that it was going to be true. This might have been more of a wow reveal if it hadn't been leaked and rumored so many times. But still, your point stands. It's not like they went all out. It's just, to me, a very cool thing to have those 3 games on the Switch. And I'm willing to pay it, but I can understand the qualms that some people have with it. I just think calling people Nintards or Nintendrones and like trashing them online just for enjoying this collection of games is toxic and harassing.
It's funny you say that. I was telling you guys this earlier, I consider myself the neutral part of this debate between the Nintards and people that just want to kill the joy out of everything. I totally get the excitement behind it. I'm personally going to buy it day one because I am a nostalgia freak. It's just going to give me another excuse to play the games again. But then again, I'm also on the side of the people who are the killjoys, because there is a lot that is not really worth the $60 at the same time. But people are comparing like the Spyro trilogy and the Crash trilogy. Like they were at $40 starting price and they were full on remakes. But then again, they're from companies that you've probably never even heard of. Like, has anybody ever heard of Toys for Bob?
I heard of them because of Skylanders, but that's not necessarily
Toys for Bob?
Toys for Bob made the Spyro remake trilogy.
Why does Bob need toys?
I don't know. But,
maybe Bob is a hoarder like me.
But of course you're going to hear a name from Nintendo. Is Nintendo really going to be like, here's our game for $40 that we're just going to put? That's not Nintendo. We already know that's not Nintendo.
Well, and Nintendo doesn't really do discounts either. They set something for a price and it stays that way.
Of course, I'm a Sega fan, but I know that they're going to put a new game and they're not going to charge a full $60 for it because Sonic is the most polarized series of video games on the planet.
Here's the thing, like, I saw somebody tearing up people online the other day, like, oh, you can just, emulate these games on your computer. You should just play them on the PC. But the thing is what a lot of people don't understand is not everyone has, like, a dedicated PC gaming setup. Like, I don't personally. I have a crappy laptop and I have my Switch and my PS4. So, like, I don't think there's anything wrong for wanting these games on here. But I just feel like people, it's either one extreme or the other. People are just sucking up to Nintendo and being like, oh, it's perfect. Or people are tearing people apart.
Dom, I feel bad you're not saying anything. I'm looking at your line right now and it's like dead silent.
Well, no, I was just going to throw in a side comment. Hey, come on. At least for the Mario 64, it's not the DS render.
I mean, it
I
would
like
be
DS though. I like Mario 64 DS.
I mean, I do too, but like this is my first time where I get to actually play Super Mario 64 in its pure form.
Wait, you never played the original Mario 64?
Nope, I grew up with DS.
Really?
I haven't, or Sunshine.
I have nostalgia with it for the Wii Virtual Console.
I like the 64, the features in 64, but I also kind of appreciate its original N64 graphics.
I would still love a full-on remake though. That would be.
For 64 especially, like Sunshine and Galaxy, they still hold up fairly well, and I'm sure 64 will be fun. But 64 is definitely the one that is in the most need of a remake, in my opinion.
You know, I like looking back on our episode early on in the beginning of this podcast when we were talking about the. I think we mentioned it in the first episode when these remasters were leaked.
Yeah, we were speculating what we would want to see.
But even then, I think we still had like, don't quote me on it, but I don't think we were even expecting full remakes. I don't think we even believed in that part of it.
That's not what the rumor said, and it's just the rumor. I don't know. It plays with people's expectations in a weird way because it makes people expect it, so they're not surprised when it comes out. But then people are also shocked when it's not more than the rumor was. The rumor was just that these games would be re-released on the Switch, and yet people were still surprised when it was exactly what the rumor told them it was going to be.
It's nice for casual fans, too, because I dare you right now, go to a local video game store that's not GameStop, and they sell old stuff like we have the Exchange here. Tell me, go in there right now. See how much Super Mario Sunshine is. It's
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of freaking money.
GameCube games go for a ton these days.
Melee, I saw at the Exchange, went for $95.
I can understand people are angry that Virtual Console's not on the Switch too. The price seems reasonable to me. I wish that they would have included Galaxy 2. I hope that they have plans for Galaxy 2.
Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, they are all pretty much unique in terms of gameplay mechanics and style. Galaxy 2 and Galaxy 1 are pretty much one and the same, so I think Nintendo's like, we want to keep these 3 selections diverse and not throw in 2 of pretty much the same games. So that might have been the reasoning for sidelining Galaxy 2, which if that's the case, it's understandable. I mean, of course, everybody wants Galaxy 2 to join this roster, but also in the same sense, I feel like I know Nintendo's mindset when it comes to like which games are included in a remaster.
Well,
here you can say it, because I'm gonna go on my theory that I told Jacob a while back, and it's gonna be a little just.
The thing is they could have all been remastered. They could have. Well, first of all, I don't think people want a Galaxy remade. I don't even think that's necessary. But if they had remade all these games, it would have taken much longer, and they all would have been probably $60 a piece, going by Nintendo standards. I would rather just pay one price for all of them. And I'm not trying to say, just take whatever they give us, but like, I don't know if I would want them taking all their development time to make 3 full remasters of these games rather than just having these within the next week. Like, I'm just happy to have these now, and I know that's been kind of a Nintendo drought. Hopefully that changes, but as of right now, I'm glad to have these available on the Switch.
Well, here is my theory. In my opinion, the biggest problem with the 3D collection is the disinclusion of Galaxy 2. I feel like it's a kind of a hit, and as much as I love Galaxy 1 over Galaxy 2, I still think it's very essential. It should have been included. But for those who don't know, the original Super Mario All-Stars on the SNES was re-released with Super Mario World included. I honestly think Nintendo's going to do that sometime next year. If they can find a way through an update, and I think that's could be a reason why this is a limited release. Because maybe, of course, ports take a while, and ports do not take a while, but
yeah, these are probably pretty easy for them.
But I can definitely see them somehow smashing it together, Galaxy, and somehow including Galaxy 2 with it. It's such an awkward, how it's not in there. I find it really awkward looking at that, and I'm like, we're missing one here.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, I kind of disagree with you there. Even though I want Galaxy to be a part of it, when I look at that aesthetically pleasing box art, I think it is complete with what Nintendo's giving us. I don't see it as awkward. I don't see it as, you gotta squeeze over because you got one essential one missing. Galaxy is the essential game. Galaxy 2 is Galaxy, but better. It's more.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
So
I think I know what you're saying, Dom, because basically with the collection they're trying to showcase 3 generations of Mario gaming, and they're going through with each system and the most essential game from that. That being said, I could see them releasing Galaxy 2 at some point next year, whether it's like an add-on to this, whether they're just selling it for $20 in the eShop. I don't think some people have been like, maybe I'll knock it, or maybe they'll add an update for free. I think they'll charge you an extra $20 if they're doing Galaxy 2. Yeah, sure. I don't think they're gonna
do the math. If they're charging you $60 and you got 3 games, I find it ironic that I paid $20 for the original Galaxy at GameStop as a Nintendo Select, so I'm basically paying for it again.
Yeah.
Paying for it again and Nintendo are basically synonymous. I don't know. It's just such a weird dynamic because they're such great games, and just having them even on the go is such an exciting prospect to me. But it always seems like there's a catch that really kind of distracts people from the excitement of it all.
That's like the main selling point for me is the portability. Even though I never take my Switch anywhere, it's usually just in the house.
I wish I had places to take my Switch. It's still nice to play it in handheld mode sometimes.
We don't live in an area where you can just, you want to take your Switch anywhere. You just kind of...
I'm going to go to the playground and I'm going to take out my Switch. I'm going to play Mario Kart with the kids.
Even then, I could just...
Gonna play Mario Kart AR on the playground.
Oh.
Look, Mario's going down the slide. Wow.
Oh, my gosh. He's hang gliding off the monkey bars.
So the thing that is cool that they added, which might be the only thing that they added, maybe there's something hidden, I kind of doubt it, but there's a music player for each game. And I think that's kind of a neat feature, just like Smash Bros.
It's neat, but there's something called YouTube.
I know, but it's still a fun feature to have.
It's in terms of collection standards, having the music archived I think is really handy, and I think it just adds to the whole collection value of these remasters.
Yeah, and I mean, it's something. It's a slick little interface inside the game. I mean,
see, I think I would just love it more, and I would appreciate it better if there was like a download MP3 option, so you can put it on your phone or on your computer.
It's so funny that you say that because I remember my Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword disc for the Wii coming with this Zelda Symphony CD for the Zelda anniversary. I guess it would have been the 25th anniversary, literally 10 10 years ago as of next year. And if they had just put like a CD or something, well, obviously not a CD these days, but you know what I'm saying, like a physical way to own the music, I think it would be even better.
The original Super Mario All-Stars, when it was re-released on Wii for the 25th anniversary, that came with a soundtrack CD, and I still have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss those days. That was the days of Club Nintendo, the days of CDs, the days where they were less hesitant to supply us with just cool little physical merchandise to go with the games.
I remember for the 25th anniversary Mario All-Stars on Wii, it came with this little booklet, and in the back it showed all the games, and like Galaxy 2 was 2010, and there was like a question mark for 2011, and that was basically 3D Land in development. So it's like kind of weird looking back on that. It's just
Well, speaking of little bonuses, surprisingly enough, Nintendo does offer a little bonus for you to get through the outstanding My Nintendo program that comes with purchasing the 3D collection. So you guys want to talk about that at all?
Pins?
Yeah, the pins.
They're just pins.
I mean,
I actually want them.
Yeah, I want them too.
I'm going to try and
like,
get them.
I don't think this is like something that we're going to go like deep into the talking about. I mean, they're just little bonus pins like representing each of the 3D, well not 3D Mario, each of the mainline Mario games.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not outstanding, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. Like you said, Mario All-Stars for the Wii came with like, a booklet, a CD, all that. And I just feel like bonuses like that have been kind of missing with the Switch era, just because there's, sleek little cases you can't really fit bonuses in. So the fact that they're actually going out of their way to provide these kind of anniversary pins, I think is a neat idea.
Yeah, I would agree so.
My main question is if they're doing them in waves, because they have the first 5 listed on the website right now that you can earn, but the second 5, the ones that go with the more modern era of Mario gaming, I don't see anywhere on the website.
Yeah, do you think they're going to be separate missions for those?
Yeah, I just hope it's not one over the other. Like, I hope that you're able to easily get both.
I hope they put them up on Nintendo's website for sale too, because I would love that Mario Sunshine pin.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I hope that they put them for sale, but it might be like the Japanese My Nintendo, where it's just something that's available from their service for a short time, and then if you get it, you get it. But
then you find them on eBay for $200.
Yep.
No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. No, you don't.
So aside from these things just being ports and that's being like a major complaint, I think we should bring up the other major complaint about this: the limited release.
Okay, and here's the thing. It scared me for a second because I swear I read that as I'm only going to be able to play these 3 3D games until March 21st. I literally had a heart attack. Like you saw in the group chat when I texted y'all. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, thankfully that's not the case, but at the same time, they're doing the same thing that Super Mario 35 is doing, and it's a limited time you can buy the game, both physically and digitally.
So
I have to at least give Nintendo this credit. It's a nice grace period, because if you think about it, when games like these release, you're not waiting like a year to get these games. You're gonna get.
Some people are. That's the thing, though, is I don't think there should be a grace period for buying games. Like, it's not like these days when we see, I don't know, any major release. This seems like a major release, a major.
This is the main project of the 35th anniversary, and it's limited.
Yeah, whereas with the Mario 35 game, where we're like, okay, well, why are they taking it down? It's just a free game. With this, you can clearly tell it's because Nintendo wants you to go and pre-order the game right now. And I was already gonna go and pre-order the game, but it just feels a little weird that they feel like that's even necessary.
I feel bad for the kids, because not all kids can go out and buy a game like that. That's the thing that Nintendo needs to understand, is not everybody is worth billions of dollars where we can just go out on day one and buy a video game like we were all doing. But like little kids, do you really think their parents are going to want to do that?
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, as you say that, I'm not even sure that little kids are going to be like, hey, look, it's Super Mario 64 in collected edition for the Switch. But
it's Mario.
I know.
They'll still suck it up.
And, Dom, I understand what you're saying about the grace period. It does seem like, it's, for us more diehard Nintendo fans, it's a longer period. So obviously we were going to get it right away anyway. And even if we didn't, it'll be past Christmas. It'll be far into next year. So that's plenty of time for somebody that's interested to get it. But what if, think of people who are just becoming Nintendo fans. Maybe somebody a few years down the line who's like, oh, that came out for the Switch, but I couldn't get it because for some reason they took it down. Whereas they're not going to take Odyssey and Breath of the Wild off of the shop anytime soon because those are best-selling games that will be available for decades to come. Obviously, this isn't like a big AAA release like that, but the point still stands that it should be something that lasts, in my opinion.
And I concur with your opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all think that. I think that everyone is just kind of not angry about it, but kind of confused. Like, why are they doing that? What sense does it make?
Like, it just... I know the three of us and a lot of people out there are going to easily get their hands on this game. We already have our game plans.
Oh, yeah.
It's for the unfortunate people that don't have their way to getting the game, and then all of a sudden, when it comes March whatever, and then Nintendo's like, bye-bye. Like, that's just so unfair to those people.
There are two possibilities. It's either that they are going to do that and people won't be able to get it, and that will suck, or it's that Nintendo is just lying, and they might, like, you know, find a different way to release it then. And then it just seems kind of scummy that they would have said it's a limited release in the first place.
That's extremely scummy. That's very just... All of a sudden, you're like, you know what, we're going to make this seem like a limited release, but secretly we got something else going on. That's going to be the same thing. We're just going to re-release it.
And that's the thing. I don't think they're doing that. I think they're actually remaining serious with this. There's going to be no retcon.
Yeah, which, I mean, I would believe, but I just don't see the point.
I mean, we know that Nintendo adheres, they love their fans, even though they're a business, but they are still a business and a corporation. If they set mandates, if they set deadlines like these, they can't just, oopsie's going to give you a givesies backsies on this one. No, they can't.
I mean, they could.
They very well could, but it seems highly unlikely given the professionalism of that company.
Well, but that's the thing, is Nintendo pretty much always does what they want, and no one can predict when it's going to happen. If they hear an outcry from the fans, and most of the time, they'll at least do something about it.
Let's tell that to all the Waluigi Smash fans.
Well, I will when Waluigi comes out next year, but you can quote this clip. It was in the Mario Remasters episode that I said.
Okay, if the 3D collection had a limited edition physical release with like a booklet or whatever, I would totally understand it. A collector's edition, I would 1000% be on their side for it because that's the norm. Mm-hmm. But the fact that this is all versions of the game, even digital, there is no way you can probably get this game after that unless you're willing to pay out how much it's going to be on eBay or Amazon after that March period.
I'm almost wondering if it's going to be like the Piranha Plant thing where there's just a different way to get it or something. I'm not sure. For all we know, they're planning... I almost laugh as I say it, N64 online for next year. We don't know what they have down the pipeline, but it'll just be interesting to come back to this topic come end of March next year and really see if we've learned anything new about it, if there's any reason for it, or if they've changed it all.
That's very
if
true.
They announce like an expanded version of this collection later, I'm all for it, but at the same time, both ways how this is looking, it's still a very scummy and very untrustworthy tactic. And Nintendo's a company, I like the trust. I like the trust with their material.
Yeah.
But now, since it seems like let's purposely make this low stock so people can go and grab their money while they can, it's making me not trust them. Yeah. It's making me feel like I have to rush myself out the door to go buy this game right now just because it's going to be limited release. And then there's a point where I'm probably never going to be able to play it without paying double or even triple the original price.
Of course, you can be critical about it. It makes sense to be critical about it. But we can still enjoy this as a good celebration of Mario's anniversary, I think.
I feel like with what Nintendo's given us in this Direct and what pretty much their layout, their plan for the next 5 or 6 months, I think it's pretty solid for celebrating an anniversary.
When it's solid it's a solid thing to celebrate an anniversary. The rest of their game plan is looking a little bit barren right now.
Really?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, what other releases do they have coming up besides a game that we're going to be talking about?
Pikmin 3?
No, not Pikmin 3, but that's cool. But that's also just a re-release. I'm talking about new first-party games and stuff supporting the Switch, which has been sort of sparse in 2020.
Okay, I agree with what you're saying there, and that's why the next game that we're going to talk about is new. It's very fresh, and I think it's going to shed some light on these ports.
Yes, it's another one of Nintendo's random. Oh, I'm just going to drop this on Twitter really quick. See ya.
But listen, again, it's working.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can tell. It's working.
Because it's making people go, oh my god, I didn't expect this.
So wait, before we talk about it, would you guys prefer a direct or would you prefer this method?
I prefer this method, honestly, because if you notice the Nintendo Directs that released, some of them, there are only some of them that I can actually say were truly solid front to back. A lot of times they just throw in nonsense. That's why we've been getting these partner Directs, because it would be the filler that would be in between point A and point B of a really good Nintendo Direct. They're giving us the good stuff separately. It's the stuff that we want. It's the stuff that we actually care about. It's the stuff that we actually give a shit about.
It's just ironic that they're doing the micro Directs about stuff that we don't care about and then putting the stuff that we do in like these... I don't think it's a bad idea because I think it makes it easier on Nintendo, like to not have that pressure of, okay, let's put together a presentation, reveal stuff as you're ready. I think it makes sense for them, especially in a COVID era. But what do you think, Tyler?
Even then, regarding both of your opinions, I'm in the middle still for that. I like this method because it's like immediate excitement. Mm-hmm. I like the directs because it's build-up excitement.
Yeah, the directs are the most hype thing, and I just kind of miss them.
Dude, I love waiting in front of like that minute, that countdown clock, and seeing like, oh my god, like what's gonna come first? What's gonna happen?
Yeah,
that's the thing I miss about it. Yeah, a lot of them were misses, were not that good. That's why I think a Nintendo Direct should be a yearly thing.
I would. I don't even want to sound entitled as a fan, but I think more often than yearly. Maybe even like a quarterly thing, like for each season, or something like that. Maybe.
Well, that's kind of how it was before the pandemic. It was usually like 4 a year. I would say cut down in half, do 2 a year. One, I would say perfectly spot it right in June, so you can prep for the upcoming releases. And then you would have a target for the November releases. November is the Nintendo month for releases. That's when all the holiday shit's coming out.
Right.
That's when everybody's getting out their Christmas money.
That's when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out next year.
It's going to be November because November is the big aim for all the holiday stuff. And I get we're hopefully nearing an end to the pandemic eventually. But...
yeah, that's the thing is companies are still readjusting. And I would hope that people could be more understanding with Nintendo in this. Like I said, don't give them a pass on the bullshit like limited release and stuff. But at the same time, going on and on about a Direct, it seems less and less likely that it's happening anytime soon. So I think that we just have to understand that things might look a little different for a while, and they are on a global scale too. So I don't know. It might be disappointing, but then again, waking up to stuff like this Mario Direct is a pretty exciting feeling. So I don't think the hype has been completely lost.
You know what was also pretty exciting waking up to? The Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity presentation, announcement, speculation, discussion.
You know, I
video.
do have to agree with Jacob. As much as I love Hyrule Warriors as my favorite Zelda game, I don't get why you're more excited for this over the original Breath of the Wild. You go, I want to play this over Breath of the Wild.
Okay, all you have to do is take a look at what the Warriors games are all about. You take 1,000 Zelda enemies, give Link with a giant Master Sword, and you just cut them like butter.
Like butter. That's the thing.
It's
you
so
can do that in Breath of the Wild.
No, you can't. You can't do in Breath of the Wild what you can do in the Warriors.
Yeah, not on the scale of the Warriors games. But the thing is, I'm very excited for this game. It's Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. It's a prequel to Breath of the Wild. That's great. But this I view as more of an appetizer towards some main course games coming. It's great, it's exciting, it's something to look forward to. But Breath of the Wild is one of the greatest games of all time, with a world that's scale is just... it's amazing. It's a very amazing game, and I just wish we could convince you to play it, Dom.
Yeah, dude, you had me play it before. You actually had me start a file on your Switch before I got my Switch.
I know, but you never left the Great Plateau, and that's when things really start to get interesting.
And just like, I almost don't want to admit this, but the only way I can get you to understand this is if I do admit this. Playing a game like Breath of the Wild, while amazing as it is, as beautiful and breathtaking as it is, it's easy for me to get distracted and bored. Like, a great, open, vast region like that, it might be a little overwhelming for me. A simple warrior game, a hack and slash 'em game like that, it keeps my attention. It keeps me grounded. Those are the games I appreciate. That's the games I gravitate to.
No, I mean, and when Tyler said you know, I do understand why you prefer those games, Dom, just because the style is completely different. And we're not trying to attack you for not playing Breath of the Wild.
I feel a little attacked right now, actually.
I'm just saying it's basically like, I don't know, when you find a show that you really enjoy and you just really want to get someone hooked on it. I think that you'd enjoy it more than you think. That being said, I know that you've been a pretty big fan of a lot of these Warriors games, so I could see why this would be right up your alley.
Correcto mundo.
You know, I already said I loved Hyrule Warriors. I loved Hyrule Warriors DX when it was released on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, I don't know why, but I'm not feeling hyped for this.
Really?
I think it's just because I would much prefer this as DLC. I think people are more excited for this because of the story.
See,
because
you're absolutely right.
That's literally all I'm hearing from people who are excited about this. Would be like Breath of the Wild prequel, more story.
Well, because it's expanding on the world that was established. But I saw somebody that described Hyrule Warriors kind of like a Zelda fan fiction, and as weird as that is to say, it kind of feels like that because Hyrule Warriors was just smashing in so much, and it was great, but it kind of felt scattered at times. This has a very singular vision to tell a story from Breath of the Wild in a way that works very well because the Warriors format, hacking, slashing tons of enemies, is perfect for telling the story that they implied in Breath of the Wild.
Well, the original Hyrule Warriors was supposed to be scattered. It was supposed to be a celebration of all Zelda over the years, and it wasn't supposed to be anything story-based. I would very much prefer to cover the prequel story in DLC for the original Hyrule Warriors, or just Breath of the Wild DLC in the first place.
Breath of the Wild had 2 expansion
packs. Breath of the Wild couldn't have it as DLC because it would be a completely different game format.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the story.
Okay. For me, as somebody who never bought Hyrule Warriors on the Switch, I prefer it this way because I want to play this part of it. I'm not looking for this as an add-on to the Hyrule Warriors game I could kind of give or take. This is a complement to Breath of the Wild that I'm kind of almost glad is separate because it allows me to jump into that more easily.
Mm-hmm. I'll still probably get it. I'm just worried how bare it's going to be.
Well, hopefully there are more unlockable characters because it looks amazing playing as the champions. Fighting like as the now iconic champions who were just introduced in Breath of the Wild looks so cool. Their unique fighting styles, their unique visuals, we've grown to care about them as characters. And also just playing as Zelda using the Sheikah Slate, it looks really, really good.
They're really taking a unique approach to the moveset of these characters.
Yeah, and I think seeing a lot of the locations from Breath of the Wild 100 years earlier, it gives them a lot of room to kind of expand on the story, not just in like the actual cutscenes and stuff, but tell a story of this is what happened before the Hyrule was just laid bare.
Right.
Like in Breath of the Wild. To see these locations when they're in their prime is kind of an exciting prospect to me.
We know that they're not just 6 characters. Come on, 6 Zelda.
I think that was the main thing that was turning me off a bit, was that kind of worry that you're just going to be playing as Link, Zelda, and the champions.
If they honestly kept it as the 4 champions, I think that would be enough to snag a couple people, because the Warriors, while they were introduced in Breath of the Wild, you really didn't get to know them. You didn't get to have any appreciation for them, any attachment to them. But in this Warrior game, you have what?
I'm sorry. I looked it up. It's Koei Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo. Koei Tecmo is giving you a chance to actually grow attached to these characters. I think the Warriors by themselves is a selling point.
I'm not convinced they would be the only characters.
Oh no,
Hyrule Warriors added and added and added and added to the roster. So I think
the definition of fan service.
I think it's going to get weirder and weirder the more characters you get. I also wanted to say, do you guys know who Impa is? I mean, you probably
yeah.
But do you know what she's like in Breath of the Wild? I don't know how much you've seen.
Like in Breath of the Wild? No, I don't know what she's like.
She's basically a shriveled old woman in Breath of the Wild. But in one of the scenes in the Warriors trailer, they show her in the throne room with Link and Zelda, and she's like actually young and like a Sheikah warrior.
Well, I mean, 100 years earlier, she would be in her prime.
So that's already a character I could easily see them adding, and it's cool to see her in a younger state. Again, it's more world building that I'm excited for. Even like members of the Yiga clan, members of just I don't know, maybe King Rome. I could see the king. Being a playable character, the sky's the limit when it comes to that.
The fact of the matter is that the executive, the director/producer of the Legend of Zelda franchise was working closely with Koei Tecmo in regards to story, in regards to gameplay, in regards to characters. There's a lot of love being poured into this game, so I think it's going to pay off.
And the voice actors are returning too.
Yes.
Which is a big component of it.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's flip-flop what people were excited for the original Hyrule Warriors. It's people were excited content-wise for the original Hyrule Warriors rather than the story. But it seems like more people are hyped up for the story elements here rather than the content.
I mean, I think that the content seems enticing too. We haven't seen a lot of it. They said that they're going to update us on September 26th, so that's not even a long time to wait.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's funny in the presentation they don't give this, but if you just watch the trailer by itself on YouTube on Nintendo's YouTube channel, it says at the very end, update September 26th.
Yeah, and I think the locations themselves are exciting. How they're going to block off kind of locations from the game, update them. And just some of those enemies you're able to fight in Breath of the Wild, having hordes of them that you can just lay waste to, I think is super exciting. And like I said, I don't know if there would be much better of a way to tell that story that was implied in Breath of the Wild than this mechanic that allows you to lay waste to them. Because Breath of the Wild was more so like smaller, self-contained battles. This is a war, and that story of war from Breath of the Wild is just a perfect blend for that formula.
I could not agree more. I'm super excited to just lay waste to enemies. That was my favorite part of playing Hyrule Warriors, was just being an OG god.
Yeah, and I didn't play a ton of, like, I had Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U. I'd never beat it, and I didn't play when like DLC came out and stuff. But it was a fun mechanic, and just kind of hack and slash through waves and waves. And I don't know. I'm excited personally.
I mean, I guess this is definitely gonna be more of a serious game, but I would love to play as one of the Guardians. You know, the big machines, because you could play as the giant chicken in the original Hyrule Warriors. That's just the most non-Zelda thing to me, but that's why it's so creative.
Well, right. Yeah, and in the trailer too, you saw one of the divine beasts. I don't remember the name of it in the game, but it's like the giant lizard divine beast.
Isn't that Daruk's?
I believe so. I don't remember what there's specific names for them in the game, but I don't know if there might be some mechanics where you like are actually able to control some of the divine beasts or something, but you'll actually get to see them in action.
I can definitely see that being a special move. You can break out one of the divine beasts. I wonder if we are going to see more original Zelda characters brought into the Breath of the Wild Zelda timeline.
See, I think that they might. I think there are, room, or that there is room for smaller characters like that. I think that they might be a little more protective with this, just because it's so closely knit to the story of the original game. But I don't know. I mean, maybe Breath of the Wild Tingle. You never know. He might be slotted in there somewhere.
Calamity Ganondorf?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, I forget what. I know this comes at the end of the timeline, but isn't there a specific branch of the timeline that this comes at the end of? Is it the?
Well, I mean, the Breath of the Wild world itself is pretty much after all the other Zelda games. It takes place kind of as the culmination of it all. I actually saw somebody speculating online that maybe the final mission of the game would be you playing as Zelda sealing away Ganon, like she does before Breath of the Wild, and like kind of seals him in a cocoon in the castle. And I think that might be a really cool way to kind of cap it off. And it's almost like the Rogue One of Breath of the Wild. You're leading directly into the events of the other game, and it's taking something cool that was just kind of implied in giving you direct control over it.
I think I have a perfect analogy to describe Age of Calamity. Age of Calamity is our Legend of Zelda Siege of Mandalore. We know the story. We know how it ends. It's going to be a bad ending. We're pretty much all invested at the story at this point. So I think it's because that's how people were approaching season. I guess I could almost say season 7 of the Clone Wars. We're happy we're getting this prequel. We're happy we're getting finally like the knot to tie the final loose end that segues into the main story.
I just thought of a theory.
Yes.
What if we don't know it, but not to be a killjoy? What if Breath of the Wild 2 is delayed, and this is just a way for Nintendo wants to pad out Zelda fans with something.
Oh, yeah. No.
But to, let's get out some Breath of the Wild material, but it's like, how are we going to do it?
Oh, yeah.
They would perfectly make we can make up a story. We can make up the original story and let's apply it to something where it doesn't need to be mainstream based.
Yeah.
Warriors game.
I mean, I think that's what Aonuma was saying in the presentation. It's basically they're not ready to show off Breath of the Wild 2 yet, and some people thought that it would come out at the end of this year, which was
absolutely. Do you even know Nintendo at this point?
Yeah.
Also, do you know how much of an undertaking it is to develop a game like Breath of the Wild, let alone its sequel?
And I mean, saying that it will come out next year is even ambitious. I'm hoping that they'll pull that off, but if they don't, I'll understand. This is a very good way to tide Zelda fans over, I think.
Even then, fast forward yourself. Say Breath of the Wild 2 came out this year and it was announced today, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Go fast forward a year from that. I guarantee you, all of you will be saying, God, that was really underwhelming. For a game as big as Breath of the Wild 2, it just dropped and they just left it at that. So for anybody that's expecting Nintendo to just drop a game tomorrow, and especially as massive of a game like that, you are already completely wrong.
What's the Miyamoto quote? It's something like, unreleased game you can always improve on, but a bad game lasts forever. Something like that. I just butchered the paraphrase. But basically, if they put it out now and it's bad, that lasts forever. But if they take their time to make it as good as it could be, it's much more worth it.
Even then, they have to go through advertising. They have to go distribute
They're
it.
They're going to hype Breath of the Wild 2 up so much. It's going to be... They're going to hype it up months and months.
Wait for E3 next year. Mark my word. If there will be an
E3
next year.
Here's another theory I have.
That's why I laugh hesitantly.
In the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2, it shows what many have speculated might be that universe's version of Ganondorf, or some form of physical body for Ganon.
Gerudo, his Gerudo form.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that there might be maybe a few little hints or setups story-wise in Age of Calamity that kind of set the stage for Breath of the Wild 2.
You know they're going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking a lot of people might not think that because it's so far in the future, but I have a feeling that the Zelda team might have kind of clued Koei Tecmo into some of those story beats so that they could kind of lay the groundwork for that approaching in the future.
It would make absolute sense.
Point being, I'm happy that we were just at a point for the last couple months of everybody saying Nintendo's not doing anything, and now Nintendo is literally in 1 week timeline just announced a bunch of titles that are coming out this year.
And a lot of them may be re-releases, but I think that they've taken care to at least kind of switch them up a little bit and provide a little something for everybody. It's not perfect. As crazy as things are in the world right now, at least we do have these. I definitely appreciate that they went ahead with the Mario anniversary plans, even if it was delayed by so long.
It's I'm happy to even know that they're doing well, even though I don't agree with a lot of the things that they're doing right now. But I'm happy to know that we at least have things to look forward to.
I mean, it's within about a week that we're going to be playing the 3 Mario games on the Switch. That's very exciting to me. Remastered or not, it's going to be a good time. It's going to tide me over for a while, and I'm really going to enjoy it. So I at least appreciate that.
Can I throw a speculation question out there for y'all?
Sure.
Probably might know where I'm heading with this. So, as you know, we got 5 characters left to be revealed for Smash Volume 2. And now we have 4 playable warriors in Hyrule Warriors with unique movesets.
Are you trying to say that all the spots will be taken up by the champions?
No, I'm saying one of the spots is going to be taken by the champions.
I could see that happening, especially with this game coming now. I might be a bit disappointed by that. Especially since I'm going to be able to play as them in this game, maybe do something a little more unexpected. I don't know.
All I'm saying is this, you can easily, rule out a couple of the champions. Rivali is too similar to Falco in terms of looks. So you can almost, Daruk is very heavyset. I don't see Nintendo throwing another heavyset. I would say Mifa or Urbosa, and those are both 2 very favorite characters from the champions line that people have grown attached to, and I think they would be thrilled to see represented in Smash Bros.
They need more ladies in the Fighter Pass anyway.
I mean, heck, what if Fire Pass Volume 2 was just all ladies, which ladies and Gina.
Look, the Nintendo community is already toxic enough. We don't need to make it even worse.
The SJW's got into Smash Bros.
But
I'm just kidding. That's what people would say with female characters. Well, probably not.
But do you
with
think
some fan bases, but that's beside the point.
But do you think it's an outlandish to speculate that one of the champions could take up one of the spots in Fighters Pass?
I don't think it is. All I'm saying is, as a diehard Zelda fan, to me, I would rather see like Skull Kid or something more. I don't know. If we're getting to play as champions anyway, maybe go for something more original. I wouldn't hate it though. Like I said, I love Zelda, so I love most Zelda things.
I could see it. I could definitely see it. You know, it's tied to the main story and everything. I still see it as a spin-off title though.
I mean, game mechanic wise, that for sure.
And I don't see that being worthy enough for another Fighters Pass spot.
I do.
I'm just being honest.
Dom, counterpoint to Tyler, kind of counterpoint. I would not be surprised if they did at least some Zelda character for Zelda's 35th anniversary as part of the Fighter Pass. If they maybe have some sort of Zelda presentation or Zelda stuff that's shown next year, I would not be surprised if they carry that over to Smash Bros.
I feel like Zelda needs more representation in Smash.
Yeah. I mean, I think they need somebody that's not a Link.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's see. We got Link. Oh, we think we need another Link.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get Link from Spirit Tracks? His final Smash can be summoning the Blue Falcon. I mean the train.
For all we know, they're gonna do somebody for Breath of the Wild 2 for Smash, but
that's even that. I think.
Hey, that's an interesting approach. It's called the Fire Emblem approach, giving us a character before their game releases to hype up the game even more.
So we can make just more sales because we know that a lot of people are not going to buy Fire Emblem games.
But buy it before March 31st.
Now, but when you put that Smash name on there, right there you go. That'll get the sales up.
Do you guys? This is so off topic, but do you find it funny that it's gone from the point where Fire Emblem was introduced in Smash Bros, which really increased the fan base for Fire Emblem, but then they kept doing Fire Emblem in Smash Bros and kept doing it until it became such a trope that this obscure franchise had gone to oversaturation, and now nobody can stand it anymore.
I guarantee it won't happen again. Byleth is probably the last one for these tropes.
Considering the controversy that surrounded, you can guarantee there's not going to be another Fire Emblem character.
I mean, and what if there was? Like, we like to, react so vehemently to these things, but
yeah,
Sakurai, and I'm not, like I said, please feel free to be critical. Don't just let Nintendo get away with whatever. But at the same time, Sakurai has shown that no matter what character, he's willing to pour the time and care into making them into a good and interesting pick. So I give him my benefit of the doubt.
I still stand by my word on that, and I always will, that Byleth was just added as just a sales trope. And I think that's why
Nintendo probably mandated it.
Yeah, I think that's why the Fighters Pass 2 has an extra slot. I think Byleth was just a throwaway.
I don't even think it's an extra slot. I just think that Sakurai is a huge overachiever, and he just literally does not know how to do anything besides pour himself into his work.
Even then, remember, think about who picked the fighters in the Fighter Pass.
Nintendo.
It was Nintendo. I guarantee you Nintendo slipped Byleth in there to say, people got into Fire Emblem from Smash. Mm-hmm. People will go out and buy this new Three Houses game because Byleth is in Smash.
I mean, they picked the ones for the new pass too, so hopefully...
If you think about it, that's why Awakening did so freaking well.
It's kind of spinning very far off of the point that we don't know their plans for Zelda for the next year. We don't know their plans for what they're going to do after Mario expires. But we hope it's something that has their fans in mind just as much as it has money in mind. And I'm glad that they're providing these games. I'm glad that they're not all just re-releases, even though the majority are. But hopefully there's some other stuff, and hopefully these games do well, and that they're good games and they're very successful.
All right.
That's a really nice way to wrap up this podcast discussion. You just put the beautiful bow on this.
This is one of our more serious podcasts because you can tell within that last half hour or 40 minutes, there wasn't a lot of joking around.
No, absolutely
yeah, it flew by.
It really did.
These are exciting and interesting times, and a little scary for. Hopefully, they don't make the wrong decisions. But
yeah, so I mean, I'm just happy at the fact that we at least have things coming out this year at a time when we need things to distract ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Even though we don't agree on a lot of them.
True.
I do have to say, I hope that one more Smash Fighter is revealed before the end of the year.
I hope that as well. I
think it'll be Crash. Hopefully to coincide in October with Crash, but we'll see.
It's about time, man.
Maybe we'll get a Switch release for Crash 4.
Maybe so.
Still waiting on that, if that's going to happen, but who knows?
Yep.
I don't think any time soon.
But when it comes out, or when it's announced that it's going to be on Switch, I'm just going to say it's about time. about
I'm
time.
just glad to have Nintendo shit to talk about with you guys.
Same. I enjoy talking about Nintendo shit with you guys.
Nostalgia edits, Mario Paint.
Yes! All right, anyways, guys, if you've enjoyed this very serious discussion and you want to hear more, consider subscribing to Verzi Editz for more content like this. And as always, a reminder that our fellow friend Tyler over here has an amazing podcast called the Rock Cafe Pod. Yes, right?
Cast. The Rock Cafe podcast.
Rock Cafe Pod is your social media.
I just use as the handle.
Okay.
Are you comfortable sharing what the episode that we're working on is?
Not the album, but actually, by the time episode's out, the Plastic Beach. Yeah, it's Plastic Beach.
Yeah, Gorillas. We're doing Gorillas. Gorillas are amazing. Listen to Gorillas, and Plastic Beach is a good album.
Yes, and then I don't know if it'll be out by the time, but next week Dom and I will be recording our 21 Pilots episode.
We're not gonna reveal the album, but we're gonna leave your thoughts percolating as to what it might be.
That's what I like to do. I'll tell people the bands at the end of the episode, but I'll leave the album a secret.
Perfect. Well, anyways, guys, I gotta stop saying anyways, guys. I feel like I've used that over and over again.
You haven't listened to my podcast to know how many times I repeat stuff. I say stuff like this, something like that. I also say. Just going right into it. That's another one. Yeah. So you're
cool.
You're fine.
Well, in that case, I'm super happy that we've had new Nintendo content. It's a joy. It's an honor. It's an amazing time. And until then, I'm Dom.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Jacob.
And we need a one-liner.
Bye bye.
Bye paisanos.
So long, gay
Listeners.
Bowsers.
Feel free to criticize, but don't be mean.